Alright, what is up guys? Today I have a cool deck to show you. It is a Nekroz deck that I built recently. It's still kind of in the testing phase, and I'm missing a couple cards that I was borrowing previously, but the deck seems pretty good. I was testing it at locals, did some matches with it. Unfortunately I wasn't able to enter at locals and try it in the tournament, but I did a lot of matches done, and I did a lot of feedback from a lot of people on how they think this deck could be better, and what changes I could make. There's a couple ratios that I'm trying to test that need to be worked out, whether I should play 2 or 3 Colossalis, if I should play more Trishula, that type of stuff. I'm not really sure, 100% sure about all of that yet, but the list so far has been playing pretty well. I'm also, right now, for the extract, I'm missing Emerald and Rafflesia, and then I'm missing one of my Ultra MSTs. I'm not sure where it is. But yeah, so let's go into the deck. First off, we have 3 Nekroz of Valkyris. This is pretty standard. This card's really good. Basically, you play this like as a draw engine for the deck. You tribute off your monsters and you try to gain advantage through Sorcerer and Exa. And then it gets you into your cards like Soul Charge, Instant Fusion, and kind of like your XYZ plays, along with advancing your board state. You play this more as like draw and control, and you don't really have to sit on, since Pepe is less of a threat, you don't really have to sit on Unicorn. The deck has an insane Monarch matchup because you can just play this card, hit them, and then you can sack off your entire board for pluses. The only real problem they have is when they Storm Force with Escalation, the game's an issue. Or if they have Storm Flush plus their the 2800 Monarch that they have. 3 Manju, 3 Senju. That's pretty standard. Nothing really new there. Double Colossalis, 2 Kage Tokage, 2 Gishti Shadow. So these are the monsters all I have too. So in this build you need to have Gishti Shadow because it makes your cycles really strong. Along with that, he basically becomes tribute fodder for everything. Since you need exact numbers for a lot of these, since you need to not play like a 9, a 7, a 4, or a 10 for your high level rituals, he becomes perfect fodder for it. I mean, at worst, he ends up being a combo tool with Kage Tokage for XYZs. Usually if you draw a Gishti Shadow, you can trish someone multiple times and it's pretty insane. Along with that, he's able to use fodder for Colossalis or Unicorn if it's really needed. 1 Nekroz Decisive Armor, 1 Nekroz of Trishula, 1 Nekroz of Gungnir, 1 Nekroz of Brionic, and 1 Nekroz of Unicorn. So this is a pretty standard build right here, I think. They all have their uses. If you're able to put these 3 in hand and like or if you're able to put these 3 on board and like have like a Colossalis on board or put your Unicorn on board, it's pretty much safe from everything, and there's not a lot some decks can do about it just because you have a 2300 Unicorn on board, so they can't use their effects. Like I was testing versus Magic Specters, and if I put Unicorn on board, he had a really hard time playing the game, other than trying to tornado it, which I could just out if I had Trish in hand. Then 1 Brionic, 1 Unicorn, unfortunately, because that's all you can play. Then for the rest of the lineup, we have 1 Exa, 1 Sorcerer, 1 Dance Princess, and 1 Gigabyte. I'm playing Exa because it gives you. This is the only other way you can really get into your Trishula. If you don't have Exa, then it's really hard to get into Trishula with your 5s and 4s. Also, there's this guy. If you have to cycle, you can send him to the graveyard, or you can banish him from your graveyard to put Exa in your graveyard and then banish Exa away to get one of your cards back on the field, usually Sorcerer or Dance Princess again if they're already banished. Then Gigabyte, he's a reptile target, and since you play spellcasters, Unicorn's a spellcaster, all your XYZs are pretty much all your rituals are spellcasters pretty much that you're playing, Colossalis and or Valkyris, Unicorn. It's easy to spam him out. At worst, he's a 1500 body and he's a salvage target in this deck, so I think he works really well with the reptile engine, which I'll show, which is the double Kage, Gigabyte, and then Tina Feral Imps. Then we have 3 Upstart Goblin. That's pretty standard, just consistency. 2 Nekroz Mirror, 2 Nekroz Cycle, 2 Instant Fusion, 2 Nekroz Kaleidoscope, 1 Soul Charge, 1 Rhoda, 1 Prep, and then 1. This should be salvage, but I was borrowing some hollow super salvage, and they wanted it back, so I couldn't find one. Alright, I want to buy one for $1 that they had at our shop, and then 1 Treacherous Trap Hole. This is for Rafflesia. It's the only trap you play, so it's pretty good in that regard because it returns Rafflesia into destroy 2 monsters XYZ on your opponent's turn if they don't have a way to beat it. Alright, and then for the side deck we have 2 Denko Sekkas, 2 Ice Hands, 2 Fire Hands, and 1 Thunder Chain for the monsters. 2 Spell Shattering Arrows, 2 MSTs, should be 1 more there, 1 Radeki, and 2 DDG. The set deck's not fully complete. I think I'd want to play Fairy Wind over Spell Shattering Arrow. DDG was kind of a throw-in to counter Mermails in case I ended up seeing any. Really, other than that, it has no... it's good in a lot of matchups. Those are the main matchups I was worried about. Mermails were a pretty solid deck, and this is just a good way to counter them for a turn at least. So this is the way I found to play Nekroz. It's been pretty good with this side deck. I probably want to work on the side deck a little bit. It was more kind of thrown together at the last second. I don't have any Cosmos in my locals, so I don't have to worry about playing against that deck. But if you're going like to say to take this to the locals where you did have Cosmos, you'd probably obviously want to put in outs to them. This deck has a decent Cosmos matchup just because of Trish. Like you can Trish your opponent, and Decisive Armor makes it so Unicorn will trade with the Destroyer, which isn't great, but it's still like 1 out to beat him. Alright. Then for our extra deck, we have 1 Quasar, 1 Star Eater, 1 Shooting Star Dragon, and 1 Herald of Arclight. The only real card that I'm not playing that I probably should be is I should be playing a level 3 target for Colossus, but it's so rare. The fact that you going Kaleidoscope Colossus is really bad. It's like so rare to do, and if you're wasting Colossus on that, you're probably in a bad position. So I'd prefer not to be there, but it might be worth doing it sometime in the future if I find an XYZ worth cutting. This deck's rank 4 engine's pretty heavy. If you hadn't noticed, Kage, Jacobite, Instant Fusion, Soul Charge, and like a ton of level 4s to go for. You really want to XYZ a lot, so there's not a lot of space. You want to have a lot of options. So we have 1 Castel, 1 Silent Honor Arc, 1 Dark Brilliant XYZ Dragon, 1 King of Feral Imps. This card's amazing in here. This and Reflection, which you make pretty much the most, because you'll go into this and you'll get the effect, and you'll get its effect to add like a Jacobite to hand, which can add an extra 1500 damage to your combo if that, or it can just put another body on board to XYZ with, which is really crazy. Or it adds Kage to hand, and Kage means next turn you summon a Manju or Senju, and you get that. It's really cool. Then 1 Diamond Direwolf, 1 Heartland Draco. This card's pretty cool for finishing people off through boards. 1 Abyss Dweller. And then there should be 1 Trap Church Reflegia. Her effect is that you can detach 1. You can detach 1 from her when a trap hole's requirements would have been met to activate, and you can use it to just send the trap hole from your deck to graveyard and then do whatever with her. So the card I tend to use with her is the card I'm using right now is Treacherous Trap Hole, because it turns her into a detach 1, destroy 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field, which is pretty insane. And then Daigusto Emerald, which is pretty obvious. You need it to recycle your deck a lot, so I'm playing 1 of those. Then for the rest of it, we have 2 Elder Entity Norden. Pretty standard in that regard. Those are just your instant fusion targets. He's kind of a broken card, so he makes the deck really consistent in the fact that you kind of just draw out and with your Valkyries, and then you have instant fusion to like recover your board state with like Emerald, Reflegia, Chain, and like all your control cards and like Castel and Silent Honor Arc. Unfortunately, not having Ash Sun is really frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about that. So if you guys have any suggestions, that'd be cool. I'd love to see them. For anyone saying run the Abyss Diva engine, it's super inconsistent. You only have 1 Diva and you have 3 Abysses. Then you're just stuck with an 800 monster that has pretty much no use, because you have to have 2. Shadow does the same thing, and it's level 4, meaning I can make actual edge seeds with it and do plays with it, and has 400 more attack. It's just better in every way, other than the fact that you can Diva into Herald occasionally when you draw Diva, which again is 1 out of 40 cards. And you can say, well, sometimes it's worth it, but it's just bad. Dishti Shadow being a 4 and only playing 2 of them is a lot more consistent. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe and check out my channel for more. I'll be posting some I'll stream some locals with this deck, some tournaments that I play with it. You guys can see how it runs. Also, maybe do some Dion matches if there's interest in that. If there's 20 likes on the video, I'll do that. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye.